Hey, I'm Kyle Adams, a creator growth manager at Kit, the email-first operating system for creators who mean business. Thanks so much for joining me for this demo. I'm super excited to share how Kit can help you foster deeper connections to build a business with purpose that's both profitable and sustainable. This might be your first time considering email for your business, or you may be looking for a better solution. Either way, this video will have you covered. We have several plans, from the free newsletter plan to our Creator Pro plan. At the end of this video, I'll break down what features belong to each plan, but for now, I would encourage you to see everything in Kit so you can make an educated decision about what's right for you. Here's what we'll be covering. First, we'll look at how subscribers are added to your list with features like landing pages and forms. Then we'll talk about how those subscribers are organized in Kit through your dashboard and the subscribers page. Then we'll get into how you can send an email. This is a look into what we call broadcasts. After that, we'll get into the mini website you can build in Kit that provides a public feed of your newsletter called the Creator Profile, as well as how you can get more subscribers through recommendations. We'll then get into automations. These features are extremely powerful for your business, allowing you to automatically send your subscribers timely and contextual emails. Then we'll take a look at how you can monetize with Kit to help you scale your business and earn a living. And we'll close out the video with some general account settings you'll want to get set up, as well as different plans and pricing that we offer. When you first open up Kit, you'll see this dashboard page. But to get started talking about how we get subscribers into Kit, let's go to Grow and then Landing Pages and Forms. Here at the top, you'll see a chart that shows how your landing pages and forms are performing on a daily basis, how many subscribers they're getting, and which form or landing page captured the most subscribers. But let's talk about what exactly a landing page is and what a form is. Down here, you'll see a Create New button, and then we get to choose between a form or a landing page. A form can be embedded anywhere on your website, sales page, or a landing page that you host yourself, while a landing page is a way for you to capture email addresses with a page that's hosted by Kit, or you could even use your own domain for these landing pages. To start off, I'm going to look at landing pages. These editors are very similar. I think if we take a look at landing pages, you'll see how the editor works, and forms become even easier to make awesome. So let's go into landing pages. And you can see here, there's a lot of templates to choose from. You can also filter these templates by the type of landing page you want to create. So if it's an event or you want to create a newsletter landing page, for example, you can do that here on the left side and look at the templates we specifically recommend for those purposes. Of course, you can use any of these templates for any purpose, but this at least gives you an idea of what we'd recommend for these different topics. So I'm going to go back to all landing page templates, and we'll go down here and just choose a landing page template. Let's start off with Cypress here. Now that you've selected the template you want to use, you're inside of the landing page editor, which is super easy to use. Click anywhere you want to make changes, and on the right side, you'll see styles for that. And on the left side, you can make changes to this text. So you can type in a new paragraph if you wanted. You can change this title at the top by just clicking. And you can also add form fields. So if you want more than just email address, click the plus button to add another form field. And on the right side, you'll see your options for this field. You can choose custom fields to do something like name, for example. So we could choose first name here. And now you're collecting both email address and first name. You can also drag these form fields to change the order. You can also add a dropdown. So if you click this plus button, you can add a dropdown based on tags. So over on the right side, we can choose tag, label this as what's your interest. And then under tag options, we can choose a few different tags. So let's say learning design, we're a beginner, we're a mid-level, etc. So these are the tags that you would have your subscribers tag with inside of Kit. And we'll get into tags a little bit more later in this demo. But essentially, you're putting them into a list for each of these things. And you can choose labels for each of these. By default, it's the name of the tag. But of course, for example, here, design experience beginner, you may not want to label your option that. So maybe you just say, I'm getting started. Or I've been doing this for a while. So now when you click this drop down, you'll see those options, and depending on what option they choose, they'll be tagged with that when they subscribe. You can do a lot more with these forms and landing pages. So for example, in this landing page, we can change the image here just by clicking, and you can see an option for changing this, editing this photo specifically. You can edit how this photo looks, how it's cropped, the colors, etc., all here inside of Kit. Or if you want to just simply change the image that's here, click replace. You can upload your own images here, either by choosing or just dragging them into this selector. You can also go to Unsplash, which is a royalty-free stock photography site. These images are free to use, and simply select an image. I'll replace it here in the landing page. Let's talk about what happens after somebody signs up to your landing page. You may want to send them to a thank you page, and you can do that up here at the top by clicking Add Page. This defaults to a thank you page where you can say thanks for signing up. This also grabs all the styles from this original page. So if you've changed things like the background color, for example, it will copy that over to this thank you page and make it really easy for you to create that custom thank you page. Here again, we have an image. If you click there and choose an image, you can select from images you've chosen before, or you can go to, for example, Unsplash and choose another image that works well for it. Of course, you can click anywhere and make changes to that, just like we did on the landing page. And once you're happy with this, we can change a few settings for this page specifically. Up at the top right, you'll see Preview, Reports, and Settings. If we go into Settings, you'll see that by default, a message is shown. This means when somebody signs up to the form on that landing page, it'll say success. Now check your email to confirm your subscription. You can change what that says, or you can redirect to the thank you page that we just created, or you can even redirect to an external page. Maybe there's a page on your site that you want to direct them to. You can do that by clicking this redirect to external page. Next is domain name. You get a custom domain name through Kit. In this example, we have charlie.kit.com. You can have charlie.kit.com go to this page specifically, or you can change the URL name and add a custom name in here for that page to be linked to. So for example, I could say design intro, and that'll allow me to name the page charlie.kit.com/design intro. Next up is the incentive. In both landing pages and forms, there's an incentive email that goes out by default. And this is essentially a double opt-in. If you edit this content, you can see confirm your subscription is the button here. And this explains, thanks for signing up. Just click below to confirm that you've signed up for this email list. But we definitely don't stop there. You can include things like a freebie, lead magnets, free download, etc. with this incentive email. So down here at the bottom, after confirming, redirect to, and by default, it goes to a URL. It goes to this confirm subscription page, but you can have it include a download. So here you can choose a file and add that to the email. Here in the email, when you click confirm subscription, that will download the file as well as confirm their subscription. So they're getting what they wanted when they signed up, and you're getting confirmation that they did want to be on the list. I'll dive into the email editor later in this video, but for now, just know that you can click anywhere in here and make changes to both the button and the text inside. So what I like to do if I'm including a download is change this to something like confirm and download. Just click save, and now we have an incentive email. Advanced, these are things, I think they're overall pretty self-explanatory, but these are more advanced things you can do with this page. And I do want to also mention SEO and analytics. You can include SEO and analytics in your landing pages, including title, description, a featured image. So when you share links, what image is shown for this link. And you can also connect Google Analytics, Facebook Business, Segment, Fathom, Pinterest, Sparkloop, and even Google Tag Manager to this page so that you can track what's going on these pages. Now that we have all these settings worked out, let's go over and share this page with the world. Just by creating this page, we've already created a shareable link where people can go to. Of course, you definitely want to go through and make sure it looks the way you want it to and works the way you want it to, but it's as easy as just creating a page to create a link. Up here at the top right, if you click publish, you'll see the link for this page. And we didn't create a custom link earlier. If we had, you would see that option here. But this is the default it gives you, and you can just click copy. That'll copy this URL, and you can share it with anyone you want to. You can also quickly share it on Facebook, share it on X, or even embed this page using the WordPress plugin, which will take over one of your pages with this landing page and put it on your own domain. Now that we've created a landing page, let's go look at forms. Again, we'll click the Create New button here, and instead of landing page, let's go to form. Now you have a few options for what kind of form you want this to be. Inline is, as it implies, in line with your content. It'll be between paragraphs, in your page, in line with everything else. A modal is a form that pops up over everything. So this will take over the screen and have some form of sign up. Slide in, slides in from the bottom to show some kind of offer. And sticky bar is at the very top of the page and will always be there at the top. So let's choose inline for this example. And there's templates for these forms as well. You can choose the one that works best for you. I'm just going to choose the Charlotte option for now. And here it looks very familiar. This is exactly like the landing page editor. You can click anywhere you want to make changes. So for example, here you could say Sign up to the newsletter. I wouldn't recommend this being your title, but you can see how this works and you can make adjustments here. So for example, sign up to the newsletter, the is on a different line. I definitely don't want that. So I can decrease the font size here to match how I want it to look over on the right side. I can also change the weight of this. Maybe I want it to be normal weight instead of bold. And I can click anywhere here, email address, make changes to this. Back on general styles, I can choose to replace this background image. So again, we can go to, for example, Unsplash and choose an image that works great for us. And now you have a form. The form has very similar settings to what we saw in the landing pages. So I won't go over all of these settings, but you can redirect to an external thank you page. You can change domain name. So this is where you could share the form in its own link. You can change the incentive email, and there's some advanced options as well. But once you're happy with this form and you want to put this on your site, go up to publish just like we did with the landing page. And here you have a few options: JavaScript, HTML, share, WordPress, and unbounce. I'm going to focus in on the JavaScript option. That's the most ideal to embed on your site, unless you're using WordPress, and then you can come over here and just grab this code and put it into WordPress as long as you're using the WordPress plugin. JavaScript loads the form in your site, and every change you make here in Kit syncs with those forms that are embedded using JavaScript. If you use HTML, you get access to all the HTML. And if you're a web developer, this gives you a lot of options to make custom changes on the site to how the form looks or how it adapts to your site. Now we've created 2 brand new landing pages and forms, but let's go back and look at an existing landing page or form. So as I mentioned earlier, this graph at the top shows you the forms and how they're performing each day, how many subscribers they've brought in. You can hover over each area and see the different forms, what percentage or what number of subscribers that they take up each day, how many were attributed to each landing page or form. You can also scroll down and see the performance of your pages. By default, you'll see this grid view, but you can change it here at the top by changing it to a list. And so when I'm looking at analytics specifically, it's really nice to look at this list. So we'll check that out. Visitors, subscribers, and conversion rate for each of these pages is shown at the top. And we can scroll through here and see how these pages are performing. Let's go into one of these, Screen Printing Guide version 2. And when you go into a specific form or landing page, at the top right, you can also look at reports here. I'm going to go into this and we'll take a look at the last 90 days. How many visitors were here? How many of those subscribed? And then what conversion rate did that lead to? You can also see total subscribers. How many people have come in through this form? And you can even download the list of these subscribers on the right if you need that information separately from Kit as a CSV, and you can kind of go through those subscribers. Wow, we just went over a lot in a short amount of time. In the past few minutes, we created a landing page, created a form, looked at how both could be styled to match your brand, reviewed how to track the performance of those landing pages and forms. And now that you've got those landing pages and forms set up and you're getting new subscribers, one of the first places you'll see those new subscribers is in your dashboard when you log into Kit. All right, here we are on the Kit dashboard. This is the first page you come to when you sign into your Kit account. And as you can see here, you're able to create a new broadcast, form, landing page, snippet, or email template directly from this page. And you can also get a good idea of where things are at just by looking at this one page. For example, we have new revenue, new subscribers, your top forms and landing pages, which shows an overview of the last 7 days, including the number of subscribers coming into each of those sources, as well as the percentage increase or decrease that is week over week. You can also look at your most recent subscribers and click on their name to see their profile, see what they might be doing. You can see tags added to them, etc. inside of their profiles. Engagement subscriber scoring is also on this page. This shows you a good overview of how engaged your subscribers are, from 5 stars all the way down to 1 stars. And you can also take a look at your email performance over the last 90 days. What's your average open rate, average click rates, and how many emails have you sent in total during that time? There's also recent broadcast performance where you can look at the most recent broadcasts you've sent, which shows their subject line and includes the amount of recipients they were sent to, the open rate, click rates, and the click to open rate. And lastly, down at the bottom, there's From Kit. This is where you can find quick tips and inspiration from Kit. We always have great news, updates, and tips down here, so be sure to check out the bottom of your dashboard anytime you sign in. All right, so let's take a look at the subscribers page. You can see a lot of information on, you guessed it, your subscribers. Here at the top in this chart, you can see the number of new subscribers you've received each day, as well as cancellations and how many net new subscribers that equals to. You can also take a look at your total subscriber growth over time, the engagement of your list, and how that's broken down. Deliverability, which takes a look at the emails sent recently over time. You can look at both broadcasts and sequences to see how your sequence emails are performing each day. You can also take a look at purchases, when purchases have been made over time, and how people are responding when unsubscribing. You can also take a look at this in different ways. So for example, this defaults to days. So you're seeing the net new subscribers per day. You can drop this down and say, I want to see it over weeks or months. And you can also filter this by specific things. For example, by default, it's on all subscribers, but you can change it to a specific form or a specific tag, lots of different things in your account. So you can be very specific with this. Below this chart, you'll see your total subscribers. This is your active subscribers right now. You also see the last 90 days, your average open rate, your average click rates, and the total number of emails you've sent. And you can also take a look at how many new subscribers you have for today. Below that, you'll see a list of subscribers. Imagine meeting all of your subscribers in person. The conversation you'd have with each of them would be a little bit different, depending on who they are and why they're there. Our tags and segments allow you to take that same personalized approach for each person you're emailing by organizing your lists and adding information about subscribers so you can offer more value to them. With many email platforms, you organize your audience by creating different lists. For example, you might have a list of customers, a list of prospects, and one main list with everyone in it. If you're charged by subscriber numbers and one person lives on several lists, you're wasting money by paying for them multiple times. But we do things a little bit differently here. With Kit, you have one list and organize it within segments and tags. It's easier, more efficient, and very cost effective. I'll dive into more about segments and tags here in a minute, but first, let's take a look at a subscriber's profile so we can see how all of this is organized. So just by clicking a subscriber on the subscribers page, you can see more about them. You can see their email address, their first name if they've included one, and any other custom fields you might have. You can also see any emails they've received here under email history. So we can see here the broadcast that the subscribers received. And these dots next to each email shows the current status of that. So for example, this one was open because it has a green dot. The blue dot means it was delivered, and this dot with a little dot in the middle means that it was clicked on. So you can see quickly and easily how active each subscriber is, including the star rating on the left side. You can also look at what automations they may be a part of, what sequences they may have gone through, what form they signed up to when they first ended up in your list, and also any purchases they may have made. If you scroll down to the bottom of the subscriber profile, you'll see more information about how they found you and how they subscribed to your list. You'll also see all the tags they belong to, as well as all the segments they belong to. Let's take a look at the subscribers page, and I'll talk more about segments and tags. On the subscribers page, if you scroll down on the right side, you'll see segments and tags. Let's start with tags first. Tags let you label subscribers to create fixed groups around a shared characteristic. For example, you could create tags like beginner designers, webinar attendees, a course pitch that's in progress, anyone currently going through that email sequence. And you can add several tags to one subscriber. As subscribers get those tags, you'll see the total number of subscribers who have each tag, and you can click on a tag to see a list of subscribers who have that tag. Tags are added to each subscriber profile, so a subscriber can have multiple tags associated with them. Segments help you group together multiple subscriber tags that meet certain conditions, like subscriber journey tags, beginners and intermediate, for example, signing up via certain opt-in forms, geographical locations. You can organize your segments based on different things. So for example, here we have a designer segment. If I click on that, we'll load the segment up. And on the left side at the top, you can see segment designers. And if we click edit, you can see what's happening in this segment. The segment's looking for multiple different tags and organizing them all together. So if anyone has any of these tags, they're put into the designer's segments. What's great about these segments is they work kind of like a smart filter. If somebody loses one of those tags, if it's removed from them or they get added to one of these tags, they're automatically added to segments. So segments continually grow and shrink based on the tags your subscribers have. You can also filter by other things inside of these segments. You don't have to specifically just use tags. We can add a filter here just to see how many options there are. You can choose subscribe to, and you can do forms, sequences, tags, or even products. And you can also filter based on other criteria, like within another segment, or if they're cold subscribers, if they're within a certain country or region, their subscription date, and any of their custom fields. You can also quickly and easily add subscribers to your lists by clicking add subscribers on the right side of the subscribers page. Here, you could add a single subscriber, you could import a CSV file, or you could also import from another provider. So this lets you quickly and easily bring subscribers subscribers over to Kit. In the description, there's also a more in-depth tutorial on importing your subscribers, so if that's something you're currently working on, check out the description for that link. All right, now the moment you've been waiting for. We've talked about bringing subscribers into your list through landing pages and forms. We've talked about organizing and managing those subscribers on the subscribers page. Broadcasts are one-time send it now style emails. You can also schedule them, but they're not automated like other emails that you can create in Kit. We'll get to that a little bit later, but let's talk about these broadcasts. They're great for newsletters if you're running a newsletter and making that the backbone of your business. It's an excellent way to start creating engagement and sending out emails on a consistent basis. Here we are on the Kit dashboard, and from here, just go to Send Broadcasts. On this page, if you've sent broadcasts in the past, you'll see a history of them as well as stats. But let's get into creating a broadcast. Here's one that I've sent out, and you can see exactly what the email looked like. And you can also see how it performs over on the right side. So let's take a look real quick at how to create one of these broadcasts from scratch. Go back to the broadcast page and click on New Broadcasts. From here, you can choose the template for this broadcast. On the right side, you'll see this option to browse templates. And I could choose from any of these templates. You can create as many templates as you want. I'm gonna select this, and this starts my first broadcast. Obviously, I have some placeholder text here, but we can at least see what that looks like in the editor. And just like with the landing pages and forms editor, you can click wherever you want to make changes. Even here on the links, you can click, and up at the top right, change what a link is. One of the great things with links in Kit is that you can change the links to add a tag when somebody clicks. So let's take this link, for example, and let's say that we'd like to add a tag to this. We can choose from any of the tags that are here. Let's just say that they are an advanced subscriber if they click this tag. So this is a way to start getting subscribers into tags like we mentioned earlier. That's a great way to see what your subscribers are interested in and start to be a little bit more contextual with them. In the editor as well, you can click anywhere you want and start typing. Here's an example. And you can also create headings, as you see here, buttons, images, etc. throughout the email. If I go down on a new line, you see that we can also type a slash and start choosing something that we want. For example, let's say that we want an image. I start typing image, it's right here. From here, you can choose to upload a new image to the media gallery, and you can also explore any of your most recently uploaded images down here at the bottom. If you're looking for a specific image, start typing in the file name of that image, and you'll find it really quickly. If you want to access that even faster in the future, hover over the image and click the heart icon. Now, that'll be in your favorites over here on the left side. You can also look at recently used. This is images you've recently used in emails, and you can also browse a royalty-free stock photography library from Unsplash to find images you may want to add that you don't have to upload yourself at the moment. You can also connect your Instagram account to Kit to quickly find images from Instagram and add them to your emails. For now, I'm going to go to my favorites and add in this image. You can also add personalization to your emails. So let's go up here. We're going to do an introduction. To see the personalization options, go to the top, this @ symbol. So let's choose subscriber personalized greeting. This personalized greeting says hello, subscriber's first name, and there, if there is no first name. You can also change this. So I could say, hey, subscriber first name. If there is no first name, it'll just say, hey there. That's a great way to start personalizing your emails. There are a lot of other personalizations you can do inside of Kit. Another example is to personalize based on tags. So if we go here to the subscriber tag conditional, we could choose a name of a tag. So a specific tag name that we have. And if they have that tag, you could send them a different message. So a lot of personalization can be done here in Kit. There's a lot more advanced personalization that can happen as well. This is just one example. All right, once your broadcast is ready to go, the next step, of course, is to send that broadcast. Down here in the bottom right, I'm going to click continue, and it's going to warn me that I still have the subject line new broadcast, which is the default for creating a new broadcast. For this example, I'm just going to continue to share. And here under publish broadcast, there's a couple of options. You can send an email by itself, or you can also publish to web, or you could do both. Let's look at both, and I'll start with email first. At the top, you'll see the from address. If you have multiple from addresses, you'll see those in this drop-down, and you can select the one you want to use to send this specific broadcast. Below here, you'll see the audience. By default, I have this set to all subscribers, so I'm sending to all the subscribers in this list, but I could remove that and say I only want to send to subscribers within a certain segment, for example. This is where the power of segments and tags really come in handy. So let's say I want to send to open for broadcast. Now, I'm only sending to those who are within the open for broadcast segment. I can choose to send it now, or I can even schedule it for later. So I could schedule it for tomorrow. And under advanced options, there's a couple of handy things here, including preview text and including an internal note. By the way, internal notes are searchable within the broadcasts area, so it's really handy to include some personal notes in your broadcasts. Next, let's look at publish to web. If you check that box, you'll be able to add a thumbnail for this. It will show up on the creator profile. We'll look at creator profile in a little bit, but think of it as your public newsletter, the way people can go and read these broadcasts aside from just being on your list. You can also only display for paying subscribers, and you can set this as a featured broadcast on your creator profile. There's also a few advanced options for these, including the link you'd like to have and any meta description you'd like to include. And this will be sent out as a broadcast, and in this case, also published to your creator profile. A website is great for showing potential subscribers what you have to offer and encouraging them to sign up, but building one can cost a lot of money. The creator profile gives you the best of both worlds, a mini website with maximum impact. You can choose from some really great, easy to use templates and create a couple of pages that showcase everything you have to offer in one place, without the hassle of joining new platforms or getting lost in code. You can display and sell your digital products, create a newsletter feed to show off your content, add sign-up forms and capture email addresses, and customize the design with your own branding. So let's hop into Kit and look at exactly where this creator profile is and how you can set it up. First, go to Grow and Creator Profile. Here in the Creator Profile, there's a lot of different options. As you can see here, there's posts, links, products, and recommendations on this particular creator profile. And you can make changes to all of these things on the right side. Again, this is a click and create style editor. Same thing we saw with landing pages and forms. Anywhere you click, you can make changes to the design. And on the right side, you have a lot of options for designs and templates. We can browse the templates here and change to any of these other templates that we want to. We can also change the colors at any time and the fonts. We can also change exactly what these pages are that are showing. So if I click one of these, you'll see on the right side, it says show links, and we can see each of these link options. Now that I'm in the links page, we can change any of these if we want to. We can also go to products and just decide which of our products are shown here in this product section. We can also reorder the navigation by going back and going to navigation menu. Here, you could reorder the navigation items, and you can also add external links. So click here, I can add something like my homepage, and I'll just put example URL here. Once I save, you'll see that's been added to the menu, and clicking here will link out to your homepage. You'll also notice the creator profile has a sign up form. If we go back to the customize menu, you can see here there's an option for sign up form. Here we have options for the confirmation email, just like a form or landing page. You can also determine what happens when somebody clicks the button in this confirmation email. Are they sent to a different page using the URL, or can they download an incentive that you include? Going back to the customize menu, we could take a look at the pages we're including on this creator profile. We have newsletter posts, products, recommendations, links, and you can even include custom pages. Let's look at newsletter posts first. If we click here, you can see exactly what's shown in your posts section. Do you put the newest post first? Do you put a selected post first? You can also choose visibility. This could be available to anyone, or it could be available only to subscribers. There's also a shortcut here to select broadcasts that you want to display publicly if you didn't initially choose them to be shown publicly on the creator profile. And you have a handy shortcut here to write a new post if you want to add something here to your creator profile. Heading back out to the customize menu, let's take a look at products specifically. This is a list that lets you choose the products you want to show on the products page. It's a simple checklist. Under recommendations, you can choose who you're recommending. We'll get into recommendations really soon, but this lets you show recommendations on this page. You can also look at the links that you're sharing. You can even reorder these by dragging them, and you can change the color of these sections as well to match the style of your creator profile. Under custom pages, you can also include other pages that you'd like to add. You have a lot of flexibility with these pages. Let's add a new page real quick, and we'll just call this about. Now on this about page, as you can see, we get a blank page. We can put any content we want to here. We can include images and other things here. I won't go creating the entire about page in this video, but I wanted to show that you can create these custom pages and put any information you want to here. Finally, let's talk about the domain name and SEO. In domain name, you can choose a domain that you want to use, and you can set up a custom domain in the settings as well if you don't want to use the domain that we give you. You can see here that Charlie has set up pages.charliemarie.com, and that is the page she's using, but we also have charlie.kit.com. That can also be the page she's using. So she can choose between the free kit.com address or a custom domain. Finally, let's take a look at SEO. If you click SEO, you'll see an option to add a title, description, and a social share image. The share image you see here is one that's auto-generated, so you always have a share image included with your creator profile, but you can change it out for your own custom image at any time. Earlier, I mentioned recommendations. Let's go to the recommendations page again. If I scroll down, you'll see these are creators that are being recommended by Charlie in this case. They have checkboxes next to them, and if you were to subscribe here, you're not only subscribing to Charlie's newsletter, but you're also subscribing to these 3 creators. Let's dive in and take a closer look at how this works. As a creator, nothing feels better than when new fans discover you and hit subscribe, but finding or expanding your audience isn't always easy. With recommendations, other Kit creators grow your list for you by promoting your newsletter in their sign-up flows and emails, putting the spotlight on you so their subscribers can become yours too. From the dashboard, we'll go to Grow Recommendations. There's obviously a lot we could look at here on the recommendations page, but let's start by adding a recommendation. When you add a recommendation, you're taken to the Discover tab, and here in the Discover area, you can see featured creators, shared connections, creators that you subscribe to, creators that subscribe to you, and also creators who you might be interested in recommending. Now let's talk for a minute about who to recommend. It's a common misconception that you don't want to recommend other creators who are in the same category as you, because there's only so many subscribers to go around and maybe you're sharing similar information. But actually, working together can really help you both grow your audiences. It's likely you're saying something a little bit different than the other person, and everyone enjoys a different voice on a similar topic. So it's great to pair up with those who are doing something similar to you. But you can also pair up with creators who are doing something that adds to what you're all about. For example, let's say that you're doing a food blog and somebody else is doing a blog about drinks. Food and drinks go great together, and so you could pair up with that other creator and recommend each other, because it's likely your audiences will overlap and they'll enjoy the content from both of you. When you recommend someone, they'll get a notification. If you feel like this particular creator is a good strategic partner, it's a good idea to reach out through email or social media to let them know you're recommending them and see if you'd be a good fit for their audience as well. Then you can cross-promote each other and share the growth. To see the creators you're recommending, go to My Recommendations. Here you can see a list of all the creators you're currently recommending, and if you're recommending each other, that'll show up in the status too. You can see the total number of views each creator has from your recommendation, how many subscribers they've received, and what that conversion rate looks like. You can also see a cumulative review of all the creators you're recommending, 15 here, the total number of views, total number of subscribers those creators have received, and the conversion rate. To see what creators are recommending you, go to Recommending Me, and here you'll see a similar list of creators, but these are creators who are specifically recommending you. If you are recommending each other, you'll see that in the status, just like you did on the My Recommendations page. You also see the total number of views you've received from that creator, total number of subscribers, and conversion rate, and up here at the top, you'll see that same cumulative review. One thing to note here is the conversion rate. If you look at this conversion rate percentage, this gives you a good idea of how well your profile is performing in the creator network. If we go up here to the top right and we go to settings, you can edit your profile here. Typically this first sentence or so is what people are gonna see when you're recommended in the network. So make sure that that tells who you are, what you're about, and what people can expect. Also, make sure your creator type is dialed in to match you exactly, and also the topics as well. Under the My Recommendations area, you can edit what landing pages and forms are showing your recommendations. You can also decide if these are enabled by default when you create a new form or landing page. And you can also just share a list of your recommendations with somebody by copying this link. Let's go back to the Recommending Me page, and we'll take a closer look at one of these creators. For example, the person who sent over the most recommendations here is design.dev. So let's click here and see who's recommending them and who they're recommended by. This is a very interesting view to look at. You can find other creators who might be similar to you based on this. If they're recommended by these creators, then that might be somebody to take a look at and see if you match up. Now, everything we've talked about here is free recommendations, but there are also paid recommendations. Check for a link in the description to see how to set that up. One tab we haven't looked at in recommendations is the subscribers tab. Here in the subscribers tab, you can see the total subscribers that have been recommended to you, the average open rate of those subscribers, the average click rate of those subscribers, and what percentage of subscribers recommended to you unsubscribe. Down below, you'll see a list of all the subscribers who are recommended to you, including who recommended them, when they were recommended, and their current status on your list. Speaking of their current status on your list, to keep your subscribers really engaged, automations in Kit make it super easy to engage right away with those recommended subscribers and bring them up to speed on what you're all about. about. Earlier, we looked at broadcasts, which are one-time send it now style emails. Now, we'll take a look at sequences, which are an automated series of emails all centered around one business goal. Each email shines on its own, but has even more impact together, nudging your readers where you want them to go. Here we are inside of the Visual Automations page. I got here by going to Automate and Visual Automations. We'll come back to this page in just a little bit, but I wanted to highlight this really quick because we're about to talk about sequences, and this is our first step into really automating with Kit. You want to grow your business sustainably, and you have a ton of things going on. As we get into automation with Kit, this is where there's really powerful features that can help you be a little more hands-off while you're still connecting with your audience and maybe even connecting them in a better way than you could if you were just looking at your account all day. You can send emails to your subscribers as soon as they subscribe, regardless of their time zone, and it's an amazing way to just continue to keep your list active. So again, we'll come back to Visual Automations in a minute, but I want to keep that in mind as we go into sequences. So let's go to Send and then Sequences. Again, these sequences are emails that send out over time, and one great use case for these, there's a lot of them, including selling products, etc., but a welcome email is one of the best ways to use a sequence. So let's go into my welcome sequence here. This particular sequence is only 2 emails. You can make these as long as you want to. I just want to show how these are set up inside of a sequence. You can see on the right side, we have emails, and we have 2 emails set up here. The first one goes out immediately when somebody subscribes, and the second one is 21 days later. Now, these sequences don't work on their own. That's what we'll get into Visual Automations for, and that helps connect to them. But this is the timing of when somebody is added to the sequence. When do these emails go out? So for immediately, on the left side here, you can see that I have send this email immediately. For that, I've just put it as 0 days. But you could put this as many days as you'd like to. You can also see on the second email that I've chosen to send it 21 days after the previous email, and I've chosen not to send it on a Sunday. For me personally, Sunday is when my emails go out, so I don't want this to go out at the same time my regular weekly emails go out. I want it to go out some other time during the week. The editor for these emails is what you would expect from our time looking at broadcasts. If you want to see a more in-depth view of this editor, I would recommend watching the broadcast section of this demo. But this particular editor is set up exactly like you would expect. It uses the same templates and the same familiar UI that you're used to. You're just now putting them into an automated sequence of emails rather than those one-time send it now style broadcasts. One handy thing about these sequences is that each email could have its own template. You can see at the top here, there's a template, and you can select here from all the templates you have in your library and choose one for each email, which is really, really handy. You can also change the order even after these emails are live. So if I wanted this one to be the first, I could simply drag it to the top, and now that's the first email, and I'm prompted to save that order. For this example, I won't be saving this order, but the point is you can do it. So let's take a quick look at settings. If I go to the top right here and I click on settings, we can see all of the settings for this particular sequence, including who emails are being sent as. You can also change the template for each new email you create in this sequence so that each one you create is the one you intend for this sequence. You can also change the sequence schedule. So by default, I have all days on for this. But if you know every email in this sequence should only send on a certain day, you can uncheck all of the days except for the day you want it to be sent. An example of someone using this particular feature would be if you wanted to have an evergreen series of emails. So in other words, you only want emails to go out on Thursday. So every Thursday, a new email is sent from this sequence and it just continues to work on its own. You can also choose around what time these are sent. So when it's a day delay or multiple day delay, what time would you want it to send and what time zone would you want that to be sent in? You can also exclude subscribers from the sequence. So down here, you can choose certain tags that they might be excluded or certain forms, sequences, etc. This is really handy if you have a certain tag, for example, that you want to make sure if somebody has this, I don't want them to go through this sequence, you can exclude them right there. And finally, over here on the right side, you can see we have an option to either make this sequence active or inactive. Activating this sequence will allow its published emails to be sent to all of the subscribers in the sequence currently going through it. When the sequence is not active though, no emails are sent and it's not active in Visual Automations. You also have the option to restart the sequence multiple times. By default, nobody receives a sequence more than once. So let's say, for example, you have all of your forms being sent into this sequence because it's a welcome. You probably don't want them to get that welcome more than one time. But for example, if you have some kind of thank you for purchasing a product, you might want to enable this to restart multiple times so that every time somebody purchases, they get that sequence. And finally, should subscribers added through Visual Automations stay in the sequence? Typically with a Visual Automation, and we'll go over this in just a minute, sequences complete and then the subscriber moves forward in that automation. So in most cases, you'll want to keep this as no, subscribers added via Visual Automation should exit the sequence. If you put yes, they will stay at that point and they won't move forward in the Visual Automation. Again, this particular setting is pretty handy for someone who's doing something like an evergreen sequence where you always want to be adding new emails to it. And even if somebody gets to the end, you don't want them to leave that sequence. You can also duplicate these sequences at any time. As you can see down here in the bottom right, duplicating a sequence will copy all of its content, but not all of its stats. And so you can use it as a brand new sequence. Let's take a look at reports. Now, reports let you see what's happened with the emails in this sequence. On the left side is a cumulative review of what's happened overall. So overall, I have 6 subscribers currently going through this. 410 have completed it. I've had 166 unsubscribe as they went through this. And this is the cumulative average open rate. So 72.2% have opened, 18.2% have clicked. And if we look at the right side here, we can see an individual email breakdown. 81% opening this first email and 71% opening the next. So let's take a look at how we put all this together. How do we get subscribers into these sequences? Let's go again to automate Visual Automations. So let's take a look at how one of these Visual Automations is created. I'm going to click New Automation up at the top right. And for this example, I'm going to choose Empty Automation, but we do have a lot of different templates for automations, so you can see how something could be built out before you start building it. I'm going to click Start from Scratch, and we'll start building. From here, I'm going to choose a form. So I know that I have one called Creator Glue Main. This is my main form on my website. So I'm going to start with that. And we're going to move from there into adding a tag. I want to make sure everyone who comes in here is tagged with a specific tag. And finally, I'm going to add a sequence. And we'll add that welcome sequence that we were creating earlier. Now, this is a very basic automation, but that's how quick and easy it is to set up something like this. Now, anyone who subscribes to this form will get the tag and they'll finally end up in this sequence. Once the sequence is over, they'll end the automation and they'll be completely done with this. Again, as I mentioned earlier, let's say somebody subscribes to this twice, or they subscribe in 2 different places, and I have both of those connected to this welcome sequence. Subscribers will not get those twice. They'll only get it once, and they'll start receiving those emails as soon as they get to this point. Since I have this first email set up as immediately, it will start sending immediately. And I can click here in the Visual Automation Builder to see how I have everything set up in that sequence, make sure it looks right, that everything is the way it should be. And I can click back over here to get back to editing. This particular Visual Automation is only scratching the surface of what can happen. So I'm going to go back and take a look at something a little more complex. This is the Visual Automation I have set up to re-engage cold subscribers. In Kit, we consider cold subscribers anyone who hasn't opened in the past 90 days. And what I'm doing here is making sure that those subscribers get a re-engagement series of emails asking if they're still interested in being on the list. And if so, I'll keep them there. And this automation handles all of that for me. If they click the link in these emails, so for example here, click to keep receiving these emails, I have this set up to add a tag to those subscribers that says reactivated, do not delete. And back in the Visual Automation Builder, we can take a look down here. And if they click reactivated, do not delete, they're sent to this point. They skip over any other emails they would have received. Now they get removed from do not disturb, which is just my way of excluding them from regular broadcasts, and then they're added to just end the automation. They're also removed from this cold subscriber re-engagement tag, and they end the automation. So things like this are possible. You can split paths off for different things. For example, up here, if they have a VIP tag, I don't want them to go through this cold automation here. I don't want to ask them if they still want to be on the list, because I know these are people who should be there, who I really trust are real people who should stay on the list, for example. So now that we've got automations in place, we'll start customizing Kit with features that are specific to your business. Kit is made for creators who mean business. So to extend the power of our platform, we've brought all the tools you need together in one place. From analytics to in-email scheduling, you can build a squad of your favorite apps in Kit. They don't just connect to your account, they work directly on the platform, so there's no need to jump between different tools. There are a lot of great apps built for Kit, including Transistor, where you can embed clean, sleek podcast audio players in your emails. Kitboard, where you can easily visualize your sales pipeline. Wordsmith, where you can automatically turn your YouTube videos into email newsletters. SavvyCal, which gives you a one-on-one booking widget in your emails, and you can sync all that information back to your subscriber profiles in Kit. Mighty Networks, where you can connect to your Mighty community and pull content from your community directly into your Kit account. And Segmetrics, where you can get actionable information from insights, a dashboard that we've built in partnership with Segmetrics. It gives you a comprehensive look at how you gain, engage, and convert your subscribers. Let's take a look at how some of these apps and integrations work inside of Kit. Here we are in the App Store inside of Kit. I got here by going to Automate and App Store. From here, you can take a look at all of the App Store apps available. There are a lot of them, but let's take a look at one of them that I've installed personally. I have Senja installed in my account. It's an amazing way to collect text and video testimonials, and you can put them right into your emails here in Kit using the Senja app. Now, a lot of the testimonials I have right now in Senja are specific to my newsletter. Of course, it would be much more useful to share testimonials specific to products or services inside of an email. But let's take a look at how we can easily place these into Kit. So if I go down a line and I type /Senja, I could see all the options for Senja. Entering a testimonial, I could put a Senja form into my emails. This is a great way to collect new testimonials. Maybe you have a check-in with your subscribers every so often. You can include a form there to get a testimonial from them. And you can also put Senja video testimonials directly into your emails. But for the sake of this example, let's go to Senja testimonial. And on the right side here, directly inside of the Kit interface, you'll see options from Senja. For example, you could put a specific person in here. So let's say that I choose Luke Netty for this, and I'm going to choose a template. Let's say the email modern template. This will load in that testimonial and show me a preview of what that'll look like in my email. I can, of course, change this template to anything else I want it to be. For example, this more elegant template. And I can also add an external link. Maybe I want to link to Luke's website, for example. I can include that here. And I can also change up the margin around this particular testimonial, make that look exactly like I want it to. And now, just like that, I've added a testimonial that's saved over in Senja to my Kit broadcast. Let's take a look at the Mighty Networks app inside of Kit as well. I'm inside of Tom Gibson's account. He runs an amazing newsletter for work from home dads, and I'm going to show how you can quickly and easily put information from Mighty Networks into Kit. Let's go into one of these paragraphs. I'll just enter a new line and again type /, and if you start typing Mighty, we'll see all the options for Mighty. We could advertise our plans, we could highlight a member, promote an upcoming event, feature content from the feeds from an article, and also list, maybe share events, posts, or members here. But what I'm going to do for this example is highlight an event. Once you click events, over on the right side here, you'll see options from Mighty. So let's look at the event title, Work from Home Dads Co-working Session. Let's go ahead and choose that. That will bring up an option for the Work from Home Dads co-working session, tells when it's scheduled for, and allows you to RSVP right here inside of the email. If you want to change any details about it, there's also options to change the font color, the button color, the text color, etc., and also the margin. So you can easily add information from Mighty Networks here into your Kit broadcast without doing a lot of extra work styling things and creating this promotion for this upcoming session. Now that we've taken a look at how to install apps and what's available, it's time to open your own digital store and start selling with Kit. The products page in Kit is where you can go to see all of the products you've created, as well as how many purchases they've had, how much revenue they've generated, and create brand new products. And Charlie, who's graciously allowed us to use her account for a lot of this demo, has agreed to let us look at some of her products and how those are set up here in Kit. Before we take a look at the setup of these products, let's take a look at how easy it is to put these products into an email in Kit and get them out to your subscribers. Here we are inside of a brand new broadcast, and I want to include a product in this broadcast. So I'm going to go to this section, create a new line, and type /product. Before I even finish typing that, we see product here. And on the right side, you'll see the option to select the product you want to show in this email. I'm going to choose Grayscale Standard License. Grayscale is an amazing hand-drawn font that Charlie's made. And you can see here, we've already put the image in there, as well as the price, the title, the description, and a Get It Now button. All of that with just a couple of clicks. You can also include a discount here if there should be a discount applied to this. And you can go directly to checkout. By default, clicking Get It Now will go to a sales page that has a longer description. But if you'd rather that Get It Now button just goes directly to the checkout, you can also make that happen. You can also decide what's shown here. Maybe the price isn't shown yet and you want them to go to a sales page. Maybe the description isn't shown yet. You can choose exactly what you want to be here and make it look the way you want it to. As you're seeing here, it's really easy to embed a product into your emails. Let's take a look at how the products are actually set up back on the products page. I'm going to go to the very top and go to Earn and then Products. And back here on the products page, I'm going to scroll down to the product we just embedded in the email, Grayscale Standard License. This is the landing page I mentioned earlier that your product embed would link to by default. And you can also share this page by clicking Publish at the top and selecting this link, which is a link directly to this page. So you could send your subscribers there, even share that on social and other places so that people could come purchase your product. In the embed, we also looked at go straight to checkout, and you can see the checkout experience here in the product editor. You can also make some changes to this specific page. Over on the right side, you'll see some general styles. What are the headings, the body, the backgrounds? All of those options are available to you, so you can make the checkout look exactly the way you're wanting it to. The confirmation page also can be adjusted. So if we click here, you'll see options for the background color and the font color. And you can also make changes to what this text says, including linking to something if you want to link to something on the confirmation page. You have full editing control here. You can also include images, things like that. And finally, the receipt email. This is the email that subscribers will receive, or actually customers at this point will receive once they purchase your products. And so you can make changes to this as well. In some cases, I've seen people add, extra links here, maybe have some bonus material or things like that. You can include those here at the top. You can include images, really just make this email the way you'd want it to be made. And what's great about these products is that you instantly deliver the download. So you can see here at the bottom, we're offering a download, and that is what the product is delivering. Now let's go take a look at how to set up a brand new product. So on the products page, I'm going to click New Product. And from here, we can choose a name. I'm going to call this Grayscale. And just so Charlie's aware, I'm going to put that this is an example. This is not the final. And under product type, you can either choose a one-time pay it now type products where you have access forever, or a subscription where you pay regularly and have access until that subscription is canceled. For this example, we're going to choose a pay once, have access forever type product. I'll click next. And this is where you can choose how your pricing methods are set up. You can have a standard set fixed price. You can have pay as you want. So you could have your customers choose how much they want to pay for this particular product. And you can also set up payment plans where you split the price into installments. For this example, I want to say $12 is our price. And you can have customers choose a quantity. In this case, we're only going to have a one-to-one purchase. And you can also choose the type of currency you're using. I'm going to leave this at US dollars for now. We'll go to next. And this is where you choose how the product purchase is fulfilled. Is this a digital download? If so, you can choose a file down here at the bottom. If it's a newsletter, a paid newsletter, for example, you could just have members only access that newsletter. Or you could say this is something else. Maybe you have a coaching service, or you have something else that you want to sell that doesn't necessarily equate to a digital download, but it's access to something else. Once you're happy with what you've selected, click next, and then you can choose your domain name. We give you a domain name by default you can use, or as Charlie's done here, you could set up a custom domain. You can see Charlie also has charlie.kit.com. There's a kit.com domain that you can have with your Kit account. You also have the option to change what the page URL is. In this case, that looks great to me. So we'll go ahead and create the product. As soon as the product's created, you have a landing page for it, which looks like this by default, and you can start adding elements to it. So if I click on this image over on the side, I can change this, replace that image to something else. I'll just select this for now. I can also click on the button to change the color of that button to something different. And I can also change the text inside of this button just by clicking. You can change the description and also go through all of the checkouts and everything else. You'll notice that in checkout, the button color change also translated to the checkout. Under confirmation, I can change all of this and make all the changes that we kind of looked at earlier to make the product really your own. If you go to settings at the top right of the product, and from here we can make some changes. For example, let's say it was supposed to be $12. We wanted to change that to 10. We can do that here. You can also choose if you want to allow customers to select a quantity. And we can even take a look at fulfillment. If we don't want it to be something else, maybe you wanted it to be a digital download, you could choose a file here and add that, and it will deliver automatically when somebody purchases the product. There's also an option for upsells. This is a really cool feature that allows you to add an upsell at the checkout. So let's add an upsell here, and we're going to select Marketing Site Audit. Let's say you could get a 10% discount because you purchased Grayscale. Now you can get a Marketing Site Audit at 10% off. So I'm going to save this just to show what it looks like. And in the checkout, you'll notice there's also an option to add to your order the Marketing Site Audit, where you can easily add that here. And you can also add additional upsells here inside of the editor. Going back to settings, you can also add discounts to your products. So if you add a discount code, you can choose what that code is, what kind of discount it gives, whether it's a dollar amount or a percentage, and also if there's a limit to that particular discount. You can create multiple discounts here as well. Selling digital products is just one way you can earn money with Kit. You can also get paid to promote your fellow creators. You can unlock a new hands-off revenue stream with paid recommendations. This is where you get paid to promote fellow creators to your audience. You choose newsletters you'd like to recommend and feature them in your sign-up flows and emails. If anyone signs up for your recommendation, you get paid $1 to $5 or maybe even more. It's a win-win. Creators grow and you earn passive income that helps your business thrive without a lot of your time or energy. The first time you go to the paid recommendations page, you'll see this option to set up paid recommendations. Clicking here lets you connect with Sparkloop, and going to Sparkloop lets you create a free Sparkloop account where you can start getting those paid recommendations. Also on this page is a paid recommendations calculator. This lets you look at what potential revenue you could have from using paid recommendations. By putting in monthly new subscribers, number of recommendations, conversion rate, audience type, you can find out exactly what sort of revenue you could be looking forward to from paid recommendations. So let's take a look at how paid recommendations work once you've set up your Sparkloop account. So here we are on the paid recommendations page. You can actually switch between free and paid recommendations on the same page to see who you're recommending by clicking these two options right next to add recommendation. But here in the paid recommendations, you can see an overview of how many paid recommendations you currently have cycling through your paid recommendations, how many views those have received, how many subscribers those recommendations have received, as well as the net revenue you've earned and your average CPA. The results may vary. I don't have a particularly large account, and I also don't put paid recommendations in every single recommendation slot, but you can at least get a good idea of what sort of things you can see with paid recommendations. If I want to add a new recommendation, so let's click add recommendation up here at the top, I can see discover for paid recommendations specifically. So let's start recommending a new paid recommendation newsletter. Let's go for Dory Clark's Long Game newsletter. Here you can see the total payout per subscriber, and you can also see the maximum payout that this particular creator is paying per month. If I click here, you can see more details, publication details showing only refers from these certain countries, screening strictness, so how strict are they about the subscribers that they're bringing in, the language, how often they send, once per week, and also what the screening period is. So 15 days in, there are some restrictions on what a qualified subscriber looks like. And so after those 15 days, assuming that your subscribers that you're recommending have passed that, you'll make that $1.75 per subscriber. It also shows if you're pre-approved to recommend this particular creator. Some creators, if you want to recommend them, there is an approval process attached to that. So let's go ahead and recommend Dory Clark's Long Game newsletter. And you can see at the bottom, I've successfully added that to my recommendations. And if I go to my paid recommendations here at the top, you can see the Dory Clark's Long Game newsletter partner program is added here to my account, and that will start cycling through the paid recommendations I have available to me in Kit. Now that we've added some paid recommendations here, let's go to the top and go to these three dots. Here, you can customize the look and feel of your recommendations as they appear after someone subscribes. So in this case, let's go to slots and we can look at exactly what creators I'm recommending. In my case, I have 2 slots for random recommendations. These are the free recommendations inside of the Creator Network. And then these are 2 paid recommendations slots that I have. You'll also see that they show sponsored because these are paid recommendations, and these will cycle through the paid recommendations I've selected to share with my audience. You can also click preview up here at the top right. Take a look at this as a modal and sort of see what that feels like for a subscriber. Under settings, you can also change what the heading and description is like, and you can choose your theme for recommendations. So that's a deeper look at paid recommendations, which is just one of the ways you can earn money with Kit. You can also sell space in your emails with Kit ads. Brands value the relationship you build with your readers and will pay to share the spotlight with you. Kit ads makes it easy to get the right brands in your emails to help you reach your revenue goals. By running ads, you make your newsletter and publishing schedule more profitable, so you can keep doing what you and your audience love. With Kit Ads, you can easily choose which emails ads are included in, as well as where you place those ads in the email. Here I'm working on a new broadcast, and if I scroll down and click here, I can easily type in ads, select an ad block to go there, and now an ad will appear there in the final email. Let's go ahead and send this just to see what it would look like. Here's an example of what an ad would look like after it's sent in a broadcast. In your Kit Ads dashboard, you can see a cumulative view at the top of total revenue, total impressions, total clicks, and your average per click. You can also see each month and break that down into each sends during the month. So each time emails were sent, you'll see the total number of impressions, the total clicks, the total amount per click, as well as the total amount of revenue you received. And you can also see its current status, if it's currently in progress or complete. One great feature of programmatic ads in Kit is that you can decide which brands you're showing to your audience. Up at the top right under settings, you'll see this option for preferred brands, the total amount you're allowing, the total amount you're blocking, and any that are newly added. If I go to change preferences here, you could decide to not show specific categories. And if I open up a specific category, you can decide which of these brands to show and which you would rather not be shown. So that's a deeper look at Kit Ads, just one of the many ways you can start earning money with Kit. Let's take a look at some of the settings in Kit that will help you stay up to date, make your emails more likely to land in your subscribers' inboxes every time, and more. To open up settings, click on your photo and name at the top right and click on settings. From here, you'll see, for example, your login details. You can change your profile picture here, your name, your email, and even change your password from this screen. You can also take a look at notifications. For example, you can get an account summary every week. I have it set to weekly, and this will show how much you've grown over the past week in subscribers as well as revenue. You can also have an email every time somebody joins your list. You can have emails when somebody purchases from you, and also get emails when somebody starts recommending you. Moving down to the account settings under General, this is where you can set up your business name and also create your saved colors. These are brand colors that you can save to use quickly and easily around Kit and all the editors. You can also save links to your social channels, shop pages, and websites, and you can use those in your emails quickly and easily once you've added them here in your settings. Going down to email, this is where you can choose the email addresses you'll be sending from, so you can have these as certain options, and only one of them is set to default. Next is your verified sending domain. This is the domain you're sending email from. And it's really important to set up a verified domain. It only takes a little bit of time, and it really helps with deliverability, getting into the inbox rather than spam or promotion folders. It's definitely worth taking a look at. You also want to set up your default time zone and sending times. So here, you can select the days that are default times you could send from, and then also the default time. This helps you when you're creating sequences by automatically setting up the days and times that those sequences can send. Typically, most people are leaving this at defaults, but you do have this option. This is also where you add your mailing address. Every email has to have a mailing address at the bottom. And here you can see I'm using the Kit mailing address for my physical address because my business doesn't have a technical physical address. You can also activate the unsubscribed survey here. The unsubscribed survey gives a survey to your subscribers if they were to leave and lets you see some details about why they decided to unsubscribe. Also on this page are subscriber consent and privacy settings for GDPR. Either not show those after they've opted in, or only show those to subscribers coming from the EU, UK, etc. In the domain section of the settings, you'll see options to create your kit.com domain. You can also set up custom domains. So you can see here I've created a few custom domains where my landing pages can be hosted, and also your forms can be hosted if you'd like to share them as a quick link. Also in settings are settings for commerce, for example, Stripe, tax settings and payouts. Billing, this is your billing info, history, and your plan. You can also set up team members in your account if you'd like to add more than just yourself. Sometimes there's someone helping you and you'd like to invite another team member. You can do that here. Under the advanced settings, there's some other options like adding your affiliate link if you're a Kit affiliate, and also seeing your connected partner apps. If you'd like to revoke access to any of those apps, you can do that here in the advanced settings. And you can also do some advanced tracking. And if you're a developer, there's also some options for you for API access as well as apps. So that's a quick look at dialing in your Kit settings to set you up for success. Now that you've seen what Kit can do, let's take a closer look at what plans we offer so you can find the right one for you. There are 3 levels of plans at Kit, starting with our free newsletter plan. Not only is this plan free, but it's free for lists up to 10,000 subscribers. Yes, you heard that right, 10,000 subscribers. That includes 1 basic visual automation, 1 email sequence, 1 user on the account, but you get unlimited landing pages, unlimited opt-in forms, unlimited email broadcasts, audience tagging and segmentation. You can sell digital products, run paid newsletters and subscriptions. You also have a newsletter feed and website, API access, free recommendations, and 24/7 support. Next is the plan I would recommend if you liked everything you saw in this demo, the Creator Plan. The Creator Plan starts at $29 a month for up to 1,000 subscribers and includes everything in the newsletter plan, plus unlimited visual automations, unlimited email sequences, 2 users on the account, free recommendations, paid recommendations, you can remove the Kit branding, also includes third-party integrations, RSS campaigns, and polls. And finally, if you want to scale your business and use our most advanced features, the Creator Pro plan is for you. Starting at $59 a month for up to 1,000 subscribers, this plan includes everything in the Creator Plan, plus unlimited users, so you can include your entire team in your account, Facebook custom audiences, a newsletter referral system. You can also edit links that have been sent in broadcasts after they've been sent. You see subscriber engagement scoring and can use that for segmentation. There's deliverability reporting, an insights dashboard, and 24/7 priority support, so you get support a little bit faster from our amazing support team. If you're interested in our Creator or Creator Pro plans, you can start a 14-day free trial to see what you think. Also, if you pay yearly, you can get 2 months free, which makes the Creator Plan start at $25 a month for up to 1,000 subscribers, and the Creator Pro plan, $50 a month for up to 1,000 subscribers. With Kit, you can connect with your audience, create powerful automations that continue to meet the needs of that audience, grow your email list alongside other creators, and connect with other solutions you use for your creator business in the Kit App Store. Whether you want to get started with our free newsletter plan or accelerate your growth with our Creator and Creator Pro plans, I hope you'll try out Kit for your business. If you have questions, reach out anytime to help@kit.com. I can't wait to see what you're able to do with Kit, the email-first operating system for creators who mean business.